Hi gorgeous, and a very happy Frugal Friday to you. In today's video I'm testing out a number of new products that I recently picked up from the drugstore, and these are from brands like Milani, Makeup Revolution, Jordana, L'Oreal, and e.l.f. I'll show you how each of these apply, give you my first impressions and thoughts as we go along, and let you know at the end of the video, are any of these worth getting or not? All right, so first things first, we're starting with the eyes, and I am going to be using a new palette that Makeup Revolution has come out with. This is the New-trals versus Neutrals palette, and it's been compared to the Anastasia Modern Renaissance. I actually have not had the chance to even compare the two. Let's do that real quick. Well, I can see how some people would want to compare these two palettes to one another, and I'll just show you what I'm looking at here so you can see what I'm talking about. They are a little similar, but I'm not sure just how similar they are. If you would like to see a side-by-side between these two, let me know. And I love the Anastasia palette, so it's probably a good bet that I'm gonna love this one too. So I'm starting out with this shade called Adapt from the Makeup Revolution palette, and I'm going to apply this into the crease. And as with all Makeup Revolution palettes I've ever tried, love the pigmentation. Doesn't take much to get the color to show up on the eyes. It's not very powdery or chalky, really easy to work with. I'm really liking this color too. I'm just blending the edges out right now. I don't have anything on this brush. Next I'm taking this shade called Custom. It's a chocolate brown. That one has great pigmentation too. And finally I'm taking the eyeshadow called Style and applying this onto the inner half of the lid. And I'm not applying this wet, by the way. This is by itself for now, just to see what kind of pigmentation we get. It's pretty good without having to wet it. And so far so good. No complaints with that palette. And by the way, you can find this in Ulta right now for $10. I don't think it's in the store. I think you have to buy it on their website. And moving on to the face. So I was in Walgreens and Milani had a new display of concealers. So I'm gonna try this one out, and I'm combining it up with a little sponge here from Real Techniques. This is also something that is relatively new in the drugstores that I've yet to try, and then blend. And we'll see how this little guy does. So far so good. That was my only complaint with those bigger makeup sponges, is that they're so hard to get underneath your eyes because they can be so bulky. Whereas this is the perfect size. I'm liking it. Oh, and the inner corner there gets in nicely there too. Hey. I'm liking the coverage so far with the Milani concealer here. Blends in nicely. Be interesting to see how this one wears throughout the day. Another new product I'm trying for you in today's video has been highly requested by you, is the new blending sponge from e.l.f. and it's been out for a couple months now. It's actually a trio. You get these two little sponges in addition to the big one, but I'm only using the big one today since I already used that little one under my eyes. I have run it underneath the sink so it is damp, and for my face today I'm going to use the CoverGirl Clean Matte BB Cream. It is pretty spongy and soft. Feels nice against the skin. Blends everything in pretty well. Looks good. I really like the finish with that. So 2 thumbs up for the e.l.f. makeup sponge. Jordana also recently came out with some contour and highlighting sticks. So I'm going to try these next. This one for contour, this one for highlight. The contour stick I'm using here is in the shade Light. So I am going to put that underneath the cheekbone there on both sides. And also down the sides of the nose. Why not, right? I'm gonna try it. Yayos! I'm taking the medium-sized e.l.f. sponge, and I'm gonna use this to blend that contour into the skin. We'll see how well this does. Now it says on the tube, oh, it only takes 30 seconds to apply this contour. Well, I wouldn't say that. It's taken me a lot longer than that. Plus it doesn't blend as well, and it doesn't even look like I applied anything. I don't know, I don't like how it applied with the sponge. It looks like it disappeared. Let me just try blending it in with fingers and see what that looks like. That may be the way that you have to do it with this contour stick. See, that's a little better. Maybe using a sponge picks up more than it should. Yeah, it's a little better when you blend it in with your finger, although I don't know how I feel about this stuff just yet. Blending it with the finger on this side compared to the makeup sponge on this side, it does look better. It's actually still there on the skin, whereas on this side it just disappeared. I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of contour as it is, and just don't really care for that contour stick. Let's try the highlighting stick and see if that's any better. To the nose with this, top of the cheek here, and top of the cheek over here. I'll do a little bit on the Cupid's bow, and then lightly take my finger and start to blend it into the skin. Now, I do like this highlighting stick more than I did the contour stick. Maybe it's just because I'm not a fan of contour. Milani came out with a new line of something called a face and eye strobe palette. So the concept here is that you can use it to illuminate your face or your eyes. Woo! So I'm going to swirl all these colors together and illuminate the face. Apply a little bit up onto the cheeks. Ooh, that's a pretty color. It's a bronzy blush color. I like that. I like that a lot. I can see myself using that a lot in my personal time. Last product I have to try for you is from L'Oreal, and this is their lip palette. And it's an all matte nude palette, which anybody who knows me knows that I die for nude lipsticks. They also include a highlighter with the palette too, so I'm gonna use this as my base color and apply a little bit of the highlighter. That was one of the features that I liked so much about this palette, was that it had so many different colors in it. So if you did want to mix one of these lighter shades up here with a darker shade to give the lips more dimension, you can. So let's do that. Let's add a little bit of dimension. I'm going to take this darker nude back here in the back of the palette and apply it onto the outer corners a little bit. So I left a lot of that lighter color in the center of the lips there, and I'm taking a little bit of the highlighter shade and applying it right over the top of that and over the top of the top lip too. Just like that. Unfortunately, on the day that I tested these products out, I forgot to film a check-in for you. Sorry about that, but to go down the list, the Milani concealer is excellent. It went for about 9 hours on me without creasing and looked great by the end of the day. So if you've been thinking about trying that one out, definitely get it. The L'Oreal Nude Lip Palette, love. I'm wearing it again as part of today's video. It's great in terms of consistency and pigmentation. I love how compact it is, so it's easy to stick in your purse or your suitcase for travel, and you still have a great number of options there. And especially if you are a nude lipstick fanatic, you will love that one in particular. The Jordana Cream Contour and Highlight Sticks. Didn't care for either one of these. By the end of the day, they both had faded away. Couldn't tell I had applied anything, so I do not recommend those at all, unfortunately, which is sad because normally I love a lot of the products from Jordana. The Milani blush was very vibrant by the end of the day. It didn't fade at all, so highly recommend that one as well. The e.l.f. makeup sponges. I have been reaching for those in my personal time when I'm in a rush. Haven't had any issues with them. They wash nicely. The makeup comes out. If you use the bar soap like I talked about in a video past, takes any kind of foundation that you may put into it out right away. And finally, the Makeup Revolution eyeshadow palette. Great. It didn't fade, didn't smudge, didn't crease after wearing it all day. And it's, again, another great eyeshadow palette from the brand to try. Let me know if you've tried out any of these products that I tested in today's video, or if there are any other new products in the drugstore that you would like to see tested in future Frugal Friday episodes. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you again next week.